Dust chokes the town of Gallow's Reach. It's a place built on grit, silence, and a whole lot of suspicion. The kind of town where justice is swift and rarely clean. It's the kind of place you hear about in whispers. A town with a story it wishes it could forget. They hanged Elias Boone at sundown. A public spectacle, as these things often were. The sheriff, a man with a heavy badge and an even heavier conscience, said Elias killed the preacher's boy. A terrible crime, one that demanded a quick and brutal answer. The preacher himself swore he saw Elias lurking near the chapel that fateful night. His word was as good as gospel in a town like this. The blacksmith, a man whose hands were used to shaping iron, tied the final, unforgiving knot. The barkeep, who'd seen Elias's face countless times, poured him his last drink, a silent, final transaction. And the townsfolk, they watched. Some with grim satisfaction, others with a flicker of doubt they didn't dare voice. Through it all, Elias didn't beg. He didn't plead or cry for mercy. He just stood there, straight and tall. And his last words hung in the air long after he was gone. You will know the truth when it's too late. Then the rope went taut, and Elias Boone was no more. Silence fell over Gallow's Reach, a heavy, suffocating quiet. 2 days later, that silence was shattered. The preacher's boy, the very reason for the hanging, stumbled back into town. He was dazed, disheveled, but very much alive, untouched. He hadn't been harmed. He'd simply run away, chasing some boyish adventure, completely unaware of the grim tragedy his absence had caused. Elias was innocent. The realization hit the town like a physical blow. The quiet turned into a roar of guilt and recrimination. Blame started passing from hand to hand, like a bottle of cheap whiskey in a crowded saloon. The sheriff blamed the preacher for his hasty testimony. The preacher, in turn, pointed his finger at the barkeep. The barkeep blamed the blacksmith for his role in the grim affair. And the blacksmith? He blamed the crowd, the silent, watching eyes that had condemned a man with their silence. But blaming each other didn't change what they had done. That night, something in Gallow's Reach shifted. The wind changed direction, carrying a chill that had nothing to do with the weather. The rope, still hanging from the gallows as a grim reminder, began to sway on its own, dancing in the empty air. The town bell tolled a single, mournful note, though no one was near the bell tower to pull the rope. And the patch of dirt beneath the gallows where Elias's feet had last touched the earth turned unnaturally black. They say Elias Boone came back, not as a man, and not quite as a ghost. He returned as something else entirely, as a memory, a reckoning. As the town's own guilt given form and purpose. One by one, the people responsible began to vanish. It wasn't messy. There was no blood, no signs of a struggle. Just an empty space where a person used to be, and a single, chilling clue left behind. A length of rope coiled neatly on their empty beds. The sheriff was the first. They found him in his office, hanging from his own shining badge. The preacher, whose words had sealed Elias's fate, had his voice stolen from him. His powerful sermons were reduced to nothing but silent, desperate breath. The blacksmith's forge, once the roaring heart of the town, burned cold and was never lit again. And the barkeep, he's still there, in his empty tavern. He drinks alone now, surrounded by the ghosts of his patrons. And every single night he hears the slow, deliberate tread of footsteps on the floorboards upstairs. But the thing is, his saloon has no second floor. In Gallow's Reach, they don't speak Elias Boone's name anymore. They don't have to. The wind whispers it through the dusty streets. The bell tolls it in the dead of night. But most of all, the rope remembers. Then, in the center of town, hanging from the gallows, it's still waiting. Thank you so much for joining me for this chilling tale. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know in the comments what you think happened to the rest of the townsfolk. Until next time, stay curious.